What's good, fam? Teacher Eddie back with another reaction. Salmonella, love Salmonella. Wishing him the best of luck in his studies, and hopefully he'll make a comeback to YouTube at some point. But we have a bunch of videos that are absolutely amazing from Salmonella. So today we're doing mass hysteria cases throughout history. And as the great philosopher Tommy Lee Jones said in Men in Black, people are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals. A person is smart, but people are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals. So this one should be a lot of fun. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey kids, if you've ever been Black Friday shopping or visited the Diablo subreddit recently, chances are you've encountered mass hysteria at some point. Mass hysteria is known medically as mass psychogenic illness, or MPI for short. It's basically just when a bunch of people start acting a fool for no discernible reason other than maybe a stressful environment. Being that this sort of thing is naturally very noticeable, there's loads of documented cases found all throughout history. Let's take a look at a few. This first one is what made me make this video in the first place. So one day sometime in the Middle Ages, a group of nuns in a French convent were enjoying a quiet, uneventful day, until one of them decided to start meowing. You know, like a cat. You'd think this would last all of 4 seconds before another nun was like, "Excuse me, Sister Gertrude, would you kindly cut the shit?" But instead, another nun joined in, and another, until basically the entire nunnery was exchanging mouths like a group of communist trading card enthusiasts. This wasn't just a one-time thing either, it basically became integrated into their way of life. It said that on a given day, they would stand there meowing in each other's faces for hours at a time. Could you imagine being the first outsider to witness?
Yo, man, talk about crazy cat lady, man. Like I said, man, cat hair is the glitter of lonely people, man. What the fuck, man? You sitting there, man, somebody starts meowing next to you. Like, I'd be like, man, crazy cat lady. I wouldn't be like, you know what? Let me join in. Meow.
This, you might laugh now, but as they say, everybody gangsta till the nuns start meowing. I'd void my bowels and move to Malaysia without even thinking. Miles more terrifying than this pile of garbage. As you can imagine though, after a while it stopped being scary and just got annoying, leading to the neighbors calling in a band of soldiers to deal with the situation. Hey guys, can we talk to you for a sec about Yeah, that. All due respect, but we have orders to literally beat the hell out of you with whips till you start acting like people.
Oh, come on, man, you ain't gotta beat them with whips, man. Just get one of them spray bottles and start spraying them in the face.
Again. Sorry, sir. It's just force of habit. Haha, habit. Seriously, though, we would rather go to hell for throttling a gaggle of nuns than put up with another minute of your bullshit, caprese. Our next event took place in the parish of Fatima,
To be honest,
Portugal,
man, I can't blame him, man. That shit would get mad annoying, man. Just a bunch of nuns walking around town meowing. Come on, man. You gotta control that crazy.
1917. It all started with 3 shepherd children, ages 10, 9, and 7 respectively. They were like, "Greetings, fellow Portugueseites. We've been seeing visions of the Virgin Mary, and she told us to tell you that some real crazy shit's gonna go down in the sky on October 13th. Now, if 3 random farm children started spouting out prophecies to the public today, you'd say, "Ha! What tomfoolery. Go play in some dirt, you dirty little dirt baby." But keep in mind, the past is a different country. And Portugal's a different country.
True.
So that's like different countries squared you gotta think about. Plus this was during World War I, a time where a lot of people were holding out for a miracle to begin with. So the kid's story was actually picked up and even spread by local newspapers, to the point where, when the day finally came, at least 30,000 people gathered in Fatima to witness the alleged miracle. Lo and behold, on that day, the sun began zooming around, careening towards Earth and sending rays of multicolored light cascading across the sky, creating a light show like nobody's ever seen. Keep in mind, this happened in the 20th century, way after the era where belief in divine jiggery and or pokery was considered mandatory, so naturally there were plenty of skeptics and non-believers present, and even they saw it all happen. Or so they thought. How do we know the sun didn't really whiz around haphazardly that day, Well, number 1, use your frickin' brain. And number 2, accounts differed wildly from person to person. While some say the sun zigged hither, others say it zagged thither, and others still said it shined a brilliant yellow and stayed perfectly still. As such, it was eventually concluded that the event was just a combination of MPI and weird eye stuff from too much sun staring. Although I'd like to believe it was real, just that Jesus' illusion skill was way higher than his alteration at the time. Yep, that's it. Sam's going to hell. Why, for blasphemy? Trust me, that was the least offensive part of that joke. Our next tale took place in 1962 in Tanganyika, which was basically just the beta version of Tanzania. The nation had just declared its independence from Britain the previous year, and with the future so uncertain, tensions were naturally running high around this time. One little girl in a Tanganyikan school ended up handling the stress in a bit of an unusual way. Rather than overeating or staring at her ceiling for hours like a normal person, she just started laughing, and laughing, and laughing.
Well, at least she didn't stop meowing, man. But again, man, it's always creepy when it's like little kids, man. Which is crazy to me, man, because my son is 10 years old, and I can't even picture like in the previous one, like a 7, 8, and 9-year-old like gathering around in the middle of a square and being like, "Hey, man, so we got these visions," or a crazy little girl here starts laughing with her venom tongue.
Pretty soon, her classmates at the all-girls school she attended began to join in, to the point where 95 of the 159 students caught the gigglies, which lasted anywhere from a few hours to 16 days straight. Beyond just the unprovoked cackling, other odd behavior included aimless running and occasional violence. The problem got so severe that the school was forced to close down temporarily, leading to the chortlers roaming the streets, spreading the affliction further. Thousands of people from all strata came to be affected, with 13 additional schools being shut down in the progress. Over the course of the hysteria, several other symptoms began to present themselves as well, ranging from obvious ones such as breathing problems, fainting, random screaming, to more anomalous things like rashes. Despite all this, no physical cause could be found, leaving MPI as the only explanation. The epidemic finally died down after between 6 and 18 months of day in, day out laughter, depending on the village. While this whole thing likely sucked for most people involved, it probably could have been worse. A lot of the time when I'm alone, I'll think to myself, man, if I ever go full schizo, I hope I'm one of the laughy ones. Not one of the screamy ones. With this story in mind, just maybe, if I put my mind to it and believe hard enough, I can be both. Flashback to the year 1518 to the city of Strasbourg, at the time part of the HRE.
Yes.
Woman named Mrs. Trophy
I know this one. This one is hilarious.
and fervently dancing in the streets for
The
no
dance
discernible
plague.
reason, for hours, then days. All without music, of course. Her only breaks consisted of occasional food intake and passing out from exhaustion when night came. If you saw that today, you'd just be like, ha, drugs. But apparently people found it pretty inspiring, because within a week, 34 others had joined in, and after a month, there were around 400. This wasn't your casual bobbing up and down neither. This shit made Zumba look like Tai Chi. Here's the best modern day simulation I could find. Now imagine that both of those people were the same person and you got the dancing plague. This would take a toll on any healthy person, let alone a medieval city dweller. But despite bleeding feet and aching bones, they just kept going. In fact, they went so hard for so long that a good portion straight up fucking died from cardiac arrest. It got to the point where around 15 dancers were kicking the bucket every day before the city decided they had to do something about it. They managed to rule out any divine or supernatural causes, which was necessary just because, you know, back in medieval times, it was fucking stupid. They eventually surmised that it was a natural disease caused by too much hot blood, as per that whole four humors thing that was popular at the time. As for a cure, their prescription was, get this, more dancing. I can see where they were coming from. It's pretty sound logic. If you got a song stuck in your head, you play it till you're sick of it, same kind of thing. But here's where they goofed. The authorities actually went out of their way to facilitate the dancing, setting up a big stage area and even hiring musicians to keep the afflicted moving. All this achieved was attracting more passerby who were like, man, mass psychogenic illness looks frickin' epic, let's get in on that, causing the contagion to become even more widespread. Seeing that their solution backfired, the city then went the other way and completely banned any public dancing. Those who still showed signs of the mania were subsequently carted off to the Shrine of St. Vitus, where an exorcism-like ritual was performed on them. This ended up being highly effective, presumably for no other reason than that the dancers believed it would work, and after nearly 2 months, the plague was quelled. While this whole thing was most likely a case of good old-fashioned MPI, some historians believe it might have been egged on in part by ergotism, a state of psychosis brought on by eating tainted bread, which I talked a little bit about in this video.
Yeah.
Ding. And hey, while I'm shilling for my channel, I might as well give a shout out to another as well. Today's video was sponsored by Cheddar, a network focused on producing...
Yeah, the dance plague, man. I heard about the dance plague. I read about it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there have been many cases of mass hysteria throughout history. One of the most famous ones, of course, were the Salem witch trials. But then there were a couple of others. There was the in England, there were a couple of cases of mass hysteria in the 1930s, I believe it was, the late 30s. There was this whole big hysteria about the Halifax slasher. And like Halifax was caught up in a storm, a panic about this slasher because a woman claimed that she got slashed in the face by this weird, strange man. And she ran to whatever, the hospital or somebody's house or something, I don't remember. And she claimed like this strange man attacked her. And then there were like over 10 attacks over like a 2-week or 3-week period. And it turned out most of these were people who admitted later on that they were self-inflicting these wounds upon them. So there was no Halifax slasher. The Salem witch trials, of course. But even I was talking the other day, like, it amazes me some of the things that people believe. Like, it doesn't sound like a huge number, but I was reading something yesterday where 4% of this country, meaning the United States, believe in the whole lizard conspiracy, that, the government is run by reptile people. And you go, 4%, well, that's a small percentage, but when you take, like, 350 million people in the United States, so 1% is 3.5, so times 4, that's 14 million people. 14 million people believe that reptile people run this country. Something like 30 or 40% of the people believe that 9/11 was an inside job. In the 1800s, in Hammersmith, England, there was a whole ghost hysteria where there were all these ghost sightings, which is similar, I guess, to kind of like, UFO sightings and everything else. One of the most famous hoaxes was the great director Orson Welles when he was working on radio for RKO. He was reading from War of the Worlds, but he was so convincing that people in New Jersey legit thought that they were being invaded by aliens, and there was mass hysteria. So again, mass hysteria is an interesting thing to talk about, but can also be pretty frightening in some cases. I mean, these were tame cases like, the dancing plague or the meowing nuns and all that stuff. But there have been some scary ones as well. Obviously, like I said, the Salem witch trials and all that stuff. But again, Salmonella, love Salmonella. Amazing videos, great sense of humor. I just love him, man. He is so awesome. But either case, man, I've been Teacher Eddie. Thank you guys so much. Love to all you fam. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the comments. Leave me suggestions down below. Let me know any interesting cases of mass hysteria down in the comments. And as always, if you want to support the show, links are in the description for the Discord, Patreon, social media links, all that jazz, and the podcast that I do every Tuesday live here on YouTube, and the podcast drops on all podcast streaming services every Thursday, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Schmoogle, all that stuff. I've been Teacher Eddie. I'll catch you next time. Fam! And as always, shining out the Patreons who keep things running here, starting with the Chancellors, Elena G, Nazvanyu, Douglas C, KP, the Hollow King, the Principals, Aaron Shepard, Addison, Clement, Vijandra, Rachel, Alex, King Panda, Freeman, Moody Kakati, Nathan, Chad, Chris Tabagol, Sophia, Robin, Lord Gandalf, Luna, Harry, Robin, and Blue Tech. And of course, Rasmus. I've been Teacher Eddie, and I'll catch you next time.